Genesis chapter 22. Now sometime later God tested Abraham, and he said to him, "Abraham." "Here I am," he replied. Then God said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about." So early the next morning Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. And so he said to his servants, I love this, folks. This is powerful. "Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship the Lord, and then we will come back to you again." Did you get that? God told him to sacrifice Isaac. Abraham tells his servants, "We will be back." Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried a fire and a knife. As the 2 of them went on together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father, "Father." "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "The fire and wood are here." Isaac said, "But where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the 2 of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar. I cannot stand to read this. I can't imagine this. Can you? When I looked into the face of my grandson Max this week, who came to visit me from New Orleans, I thought to myself, what if God asked me to take my grandson Max and go and kill him as an act of worship? Would you do that? Any rate, I'm sorry to get when they reached the place, verse 9, God had told him about. Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac, laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and he took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, "Abraham! Abraham, stop! Don't do it." "Here I am," Abraham replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over, took the ram, and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called the place, "The Lord will provide." And to this day it is said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." And so the angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, "I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. And through your offspring all the nations of the earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed them." And so Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba. And Abraham and his whole entourage stayed in Beersheba. May the Lord Jesus write this precious word on our hearts today. I believe, my friends, that radical gratitude has two requirements. Number one, to leave everything behind. And number two, to lay everything down.